Hey everybody, Leathur Rokk, that terrible MAGA girl, who was in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Right now, I'm in Linwood, New Jersey. I'm walking around in the parking lot of Linwood Complete Care, the nursing home slash physical therapy facility that my mom's in. And I set her in the shade. Now, I have no business out in the sun. White people like me are not supposed to be out in this sun, and I do have sunblock on, but I don't have it slathered on because I don't have an unlimited supply of that. Now I got something in my shoe. That sucks. Oh boy. But I still had to ask AI again how to successfully do this thing live. I'm going to give you a look at the grass, the area. Over there where I'm pointing, that's Route 9. This street here is called Central Avenue, and that, I guess it's a mini mall or a strip mall, or I don't know what the heck you call it. That's called Central Square. For years I was curious about that place, thinking it was really a real upper class shops and things, and the more I passed by there, I'm not so sure whether there's anything that I particularly would want there, and I'm sure I couldn't afford anything anyway. But one thing that they do have, I guess a few blocks away, they have a veterinary clinic or hospital or something, but neighborhood things are very, very pricey. You want to see a wishing well? Except there's no water in it, and not that I would waste money throwing it in a body of water anyway. But this is something I noticed the first day I was here walking around, and this is where I had been. I found a bus stop right over there that says PNC Bank, but one day I went to use that bus stop, and the bus driver charged me an extra 30 cents because this would be the third zone, and I just used 2-zone tickets. 30 cents adds up. If I went 7 days a week, 30 cents times 7 would be $2.10, and that's practically a fare to get out here. So I can't throw away my money, because it looks like I'm going to be having a veterinary bill pretty soon. I've been investigating a place, or some places where I can get my cat looked at. And I don't have a whole lot of local friends out here, but one of my friends, who's somebody that I went to school with, he offered to take me and Garfield to a veterinarian. In the first place he suggested was in Ventnor, which is also on Absecon Island, not too far from Atlantic City. But my mom suggested that the Humane Society would be more affordable, and you have to go with more affordable. Hello, I'm back, I'm live. Want to see Mom? Say hello. Got to prove to people that I really do have a mom, that I'm not a test tube baby. I haven't been disowned yet. She hasn't kicked me out and decided that she'd rather have some stranger take care of her. I don't mean to seem like I'm ragging on the people that work here. Most of the people that work here seem like they really do care about people. But I wish they would get better on the coffee situation. I just make my mom some coffee and bring it here, but I don't have a totally leak-proof thermos. I don't want to be spilling things. And with my luck, I would wear it. Ooh, tornadoes scare me so much. I am so afraid of them. Ever since the fires that happened in Los Angeles, I've been thinking about what other places in the United States I might want to live. And I was thinking about the South, because there's a lot of really great people that live down South. But I noticed that they have been having tornadoes. And then sometimes, like what happened in North Carolina and South Carolina, where you would have these hurricanes and they would come up north, and then they would have all this flooding. And then seeing how FEMA treated some people, especially the people with the Trump signs on their property, and how people were not getting treated just because of that. Yes, yes, Burger Boy, that's exactly what I am. Pagan cat lady, MAGA girl. Yes. Oh, I want to, speaking of pagan stuff, whatever, there is a nice old man that you're going to be finding some videos about. I did not videotape him, but I talked about him. Well, you're gonna, and I guess in about a week, you're gonna find out the story about him. But anyway, he came by for breakfast and coffee today because I don't mind feeding people, you know. And somebody had left a box for people to go through. And look what I have! I have a new eye. And of course, this, which I'm glad I got when I got, because now that the Chinese tariffs are going to be in effect, there's probably going to be no more Timu and wish hauls from yours truly. I am glad that I got the cheap stuff when I could. And I know people like to rag on the quality of the inexpensive things that I was getting overseas, but you know what? I'm really not disappointed with the quality of my goods. I even got some Trump gear. I got a bunch of MAGA hats and t-shirts, and I got some of those iron-on transfers that you just need to use an iron and put on whatever. And I feel really lucky that I got the cheap stuff when I could. I even got, a couple years ago, I got a Chromebook computer that I paid less than $77 for, and I got it on Temu. So, but now that Trump did his tariffs, which I understand the reasons for, they're a bargaining tool. And even though maybe some people are a little bit concerned about the stock market now, and things, we're going through an adjustment, a reset, as Trump likes to call it. And the thing is, I would defer to his judgment, because he went to business school. I did not. You know, I am humble enough to defer to the judgment of people who have certain higher education, certain skill sets, certain life experience. I think everybody likes to be appreciated for having some life experience and knowing a thing or two about a thing or two. And yes, I was in Los Angeles when the Rodney King riots were there. If you want to bring up that subject, I had a very bad boyfriend at the time who I lived with, and boy, you know what? You should probably never live with a lover, because if things turn sour, good luck. Right. Well, when the Rodney King riot started, he took us to Las Vegas for a couple of days. In Las Vegas, they were not putting up with any bullshit. The cops kept a real. They controlled people from acting out. There was no acts of miscreancy during the 3 days that he took me there. But I got to witness, in Los Angeles, I got to witness people renting out of big box stores carrying widescreen Ds and stereos and different things, and they were all bragging that because they weren't white they could get away with it. It was kind of horrifying, because you don't know if a person is armed and if they're unstable. Just like if you're hanging out with your punk rocker friends on a Saturday night in Hollywood, and cops are deciding to do a warrant check, and they get out there and they get their guns and they go face against the concrete. And this happened to me one time, and I was not getting my face on that concrete, because at the time they had the cops on horseback. And if you've ever been in any place with cops on horseback, you'll find out, unless they're wearing diapers, horses going to do what horses going to do. And they eat, they're going to go to the bathroom. So, and there would be piles of horse manure on the ground on Hollywood Boulevard. And if I know there's piles of horse manure on the ground, I am not getting my face on it. So, but, you know, I would much rather take my chances with a cop with a gun at my face than a gangbanger with a gun at my face. And fortunately, the only gangbanger encounters I had was at knife point, not at guns. So I would trust a cop more than a gangbanger. So I just, and on the subject of gangs, I think, but yeah, I was certainly, when I lived in Los Angeles, one time I actually put on a black cloak and a hoodie and I dressed all in black, and there was some MS-13 gang graffiti right in front of my apartment building. And at the time, I lived with two harmless, decent, older gentlemen from Texas. They'd taken me in after a home invasion robbery, and I've been in two home invasions, and I can tell you they are no fun. But anyway, I know full well, having lived in ghettos and stuff before. Atlantic City was not my first ghetto. Some parts of Hollywood were pretty ghetto too, but more barrio ghetto as opposed to white English-speaking ghettos or black English-speaking ghettos. The barrios, that's a little bit different. They have better food though. I mean, there's nothing like the people that make handmade tamales and sell them for $1 a piece, and they're like filled with chicken, and or you could fill them with all kinds of things. But man, I do miss the food out there. But no, I scratched out the gang graffiti because our apartment, we had a front-facing window, and it was literally right in front of us. And to have such ugliness near your home. And I guess it was a pretty ballsy move on my part, but I'm like, dude, I'm not having it. And if you know me at all, when I am determined that I'm not having it, I'm not having it. And obviously, they didn't hunt me down and beat my ass. So, but now the national attention is on gangs and dangerous people that, frankly, should be deported and stuff. Hello, Steve. Hello. I have a hard time pronouncing some of your screen names. Chusuck, is that, am I pronouncing it right? And of course I didn't bring my reading glasses. No, actually I did. But I honestly had not been live streaming in part because I forgot the procedure, because it's totally different on a cell phone, and I've only had this not even 3 months. Oh yeah, if the sound is getting bad, I do apologize. I am going to as soon as I get a certain special file transfer cable that enables me to take all the data from this phone and put it into my, I have flash drives that I got a whole bunch of them so that I could back up my channel, which, by the way, I never really got to do because I dropped and smashed that desk drive that had stored 8 terabytes of data. Apparently dropping them is not good. And it was not, of course, very sturdy. But anyway, I'm going to have to back up, do a better job of that. But anyway, where I'm getting with this is I need to get equipment that I'm much better at using, and I really prefer the experience of a computer. I know they're not as portable for some of the things that I do, and there's nothing quite like pulling something out of your pocket and getting access to places that they might not allow you to bring a laptop in. Like when I was on the floor of the Senate, the Hart Senate building in Washington, I don't know that they would have been as cool if I carried a laptop computer in it. So I was glad that I had this. I don't think I would be able to bring a computer into a Trump rally or whatever. So these things are necessary, but I am looking for a laptop, and I have certain parameters which I kind of need. Like, it has to be a full terabyte, and the RAM has to be 16 gigabytes. And I don't want to spend more than $300 for it, which might seem unreasonable, but I really need to watch my saving, my money, because not only am I dealing with this move that we have to do and stuff, but I'm going to need some money for Garfield to take him to the vet for a checkup. And there are some people that were expressing concern on my channel about the health and well-being of my cat. I assure you, I have been around cats that are sick and are doing much, 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 much worse than he's doing. Sometimes people forget that I'm dealing with I'm dealing with limited resources here, and I have more than one priority. Obviously, my cat's a big priority. My mom's a big priority. Keeping this channel in existence is a big priority too, because many times this YouTube channel is about the only thing that I have which is keeping me going. Hey, Krell. Ooh, ministry. Oh man, I'm jealous. I miss going to clubs and dancing, and about the only clubs that are free in Atlantic City. They play hip hop and rap and today's pop music, and I'm not into any of those things. I especially am trying to avoid current pop music because I don't want inspired. I have my own musical ideas and I don't want those influences. So, but if I can go to a place that plays techno, EDM, or Britpop, or 80s music, or industrial, or gothic, oh, that would make me so happy. Uh, one of my one of my friends who's still in Washington D.C., he listens to music like that. He's actually somebody that I knew when I lived there, and I kind of miss those days in. I mean, not Washington D.C. Excuse me, San Francisco. San Francisco. I miss the times that I was there. Of course, it was much safer when I was there, and even sleeping on the street, camping out under the stars, it was like a big slumber party with your gothic and punk rocker friends and your hippies and stuff. And now, what they show on TV with the people using the streets as a bathroom, throwing crack pipes and needles around, and the violence and things, that was not a thing when I was there. Sure, there was places where people did some hard drugs and stuff, but that wasn't throughout the city. And even places where I felt kind of exposed, I didn't feel like people were judging me like I was scum of the earth and I was something to be feared or avoided or anything. But now, when you have tent cities that are taking over blocks and blocks and blocks and obstructing sidewalks, and people can't go about their day, and people can't have their businesses because people are taking over right in front of them and intimidating people from being able to patronize, and that's obviously unacceptable. And when homeless people act like that, it makes it hard for everybody because you can't coexist with people that are making your life miserable. So, and I could see both sides of that story, both as a person who's a little bit more in society now and as a person who was on the street and stuff. So I could see both sides, and I'm hoping that I'm never having to be in that situation ever again, but you don't know what the future holds. And that's why I am working on getting a harness for my cat. So if anything does happen to me, I could still have him. But you have a harness and a leash and stuff, it's easier to protect them. One of my little predicaments is I love the convenience of shopping online. It's just wonderful. You make your minimum purchase and you get free shipping, and you just have to wait for packages. But unfortunately, we've been having more package delivery problems, and it's bad enough if you order something from a store and you don't get it and you can get refunds. But if a person takes the time and effort to make you up a care package of stuff they packaged up and sent, and it doesn't get to you, then they're out their stuff. They're not going to get it back. They're lucky if they're going to get their postage back. I didn't get my stuff, and I'm thinking, so what's going to happen if I finally find that $300 computer that I need that has a full terabyte, that has 16 gigabytes of RAM, only to have it not come? And there's a bunch of things that I need that, frankly, I cannot see the logic of my taking a whole bunch of bus rides to get a bunch of things, and the bus fare alone would probably add $20 or $30 to it. Like, I need to get, there's a special file transfer cable that I need that hooks up to this phone, and it has a USB on the other end, and I forget exactly what it was called, TCB or something. I forget what the first three letters are. But what it would do is it would get all the data that I have stuck in this phone, so that when I get it fixed, because it's still under warranty, then if they replace it or they fix it, I don't lose my data. And the thing is, there are no places like that sell those things in Atlantic City that I could actually walk to. Walking, I'm fine with. Walking is really good exercise and stuff. Oh, well, I don't know. Hi, Songbird. Yeah, we're in the... So, speaking of bands of a certain kind, I just saw a guy come here wearing a Misfits shirt. It's something... It's a bit humbling to see people and I know this is not an area, a place that's full of young people, okay? But when you see what I would think of as young people's t-shirts, like punk and goth and industrial and stuff, and of course, but anyway, just so you see, this is still shaded, but if I walk over here, this is where the sun is. Say hi, Mom. But we are safely in the shade because we're not supposed to be out in the sun. So, oh, if you want to see that sparkly rock that I just showed, I'm going to show you where it is. And that's an area where people can hang out and socialize, and there's vending machines, and people can eat and stuff. There's rooms here where people can socialize, and they have all kinds of activities that I guess are more for the more ambulatory people. But there's the rock where is it? That I did that short about. And it's got over 700 hits. Why are people so interested in a rock? But I've been on YouTube over 12 and a half years now, and I am shocked at the kind of content that people find interesting. I'm sure I got the algorithm all confused because I have this variety channel that I don't just talk about one thing. Yeah, I can't be cooking in the sun. I'm a redhead naturally, can you tell? And I had my first sun poisoning when I was only 2. And, my father had like 8 different skin cancers cut off of him before he died. And cancer, even with all treatments and stuff that we have, it's usually, most forms of it, if you detect it early enough, you can get rid of it. But once it metastasizes to another body organ, it's all over. That's what killed my father. He had one skin cancer, went to his lung, another skin cancer metastasized to his pancreas. We all know that that's not a good thing. So, but it is so beautiful out. I don't know what the exact temperature is here. Robert Marley. I can see, it says, can nobody see my text? And Burger Boy says, Ginger Rock. Well, no, you didn't know I was ready. Yeah. I have not dyed my hair the proper way. I didn't bleach it out on the roots. And the reason why I didn't do that is because I still have the last live stream I did when that guy attacked me because I guess he was trying to buy a prostitute, and he found out I wasn't. And I told him he owed me an apology. And he took my laptop and he threw it like a frisbee and he smashed it. And anyway, where am I? I'm getting distracted here because, yeah, on the 29th, a man stood before a woman of the evening. I was doing a live stream using the Tropicana Hotel Casino Wi-Fi. I was just on the other side of the Tropicana. It was about 10:30 at night. I was wearing a cute little dress, which I would definitely prefer to be wearing a cute little dress than the trousers I'm wearing now. But I'm doing different things. I'm sitting on a whole bunch of surfaces, and when you wear pants, it's easier to keep clean. But anyway, this guy smashed my computer when I told him that he owed me and my audience an apology. I don't know if you knew this, but I shouldn't have to say it, but I don't think too many women who are not in the life appreciate being mistaken for prostitutes. And I have been mistaken for a whore since I was 11 years old. Everybody, well, I don't know if everybody has their fighting words, but I have fighting words, and it's anytime somebody thinks I'd be willing to do something like that. Just because you dress in a certain manner, even if it's a provocative manner, maybe it's just fashion. Especially if you knew anything about prostitutes, at least in Atlantic City, they don't look cute. They're not trying to wear sexy things. If they do wear short skirts and everything, they're only wearing them bare-legged. They don't wear makeup. They probably wear wigs. And so whenever people mistake me for something like that, I get really, really angry. And anyway, the point to where I'm getting with this is I was taking out my cornrow braids on this live stream. And I had mostly done it. And then when the guy smashed my computer, and I realized that I was, in essence, knocked offline for a while until I got to Washington, D.C., and I bought this phone that I'm using right now. So I didn't want my hair, when I finally got online again, to be flat and boring and all that crap. So I clipped it up. I used those, those banana clips or whatever the heck you call them. And I just clipped my hair up on top of my head. I scrunched it up to keep the volume and stuff. And I kept it up until I went to Washington, so that when I was finally ready to go on video, my hair would be big and flashy and all that stuff. I never did find out exactly who the guy was that did that. He threatened me. He even said, I know where you live. He said the name of my street and everything. It kind of doesn't matter now because that building is supposed to be torn down. And matter of fact, they probably would have started the demolition already, except that we're still here. And my mom has an attorney, and she said as long as the rent still is paid, they can't do anything to us. So, matter of fact, tomorrow my mother is going to write out a check. Her checkbook is here, and I'm going to hand deliver it to the place that the office that owns our building. It's literally 2 blocks away. It's an easy walk. So yeah, but ever since that happened, it kind of took away my feeling of, I know I'm just a human being, and I know I'm female, and that gives me certain limitations in self-defense and things. And I'm living in New Jersey, where since I'm not a multi-millionaire business owner, I'm not permitted to carry a firearm, so I literally don't have any way to defend myself. But it changed the way I feel about that neighborhood. Before, I would walk around any and all hours, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever. It didn't faze me. And I still do to a certain degree, because there's places I check where people drop off things, and Chicken Lady drops off that wonderful Popeye's chicken, and I bring that home. And I'd share it with my mom, but of course can't really do that now because she's here. But there's people that come over, and I feed them. And plus we have canned goods and things. And I certainly love feeding people and making them coffee and stuff. But anyway, I was hoping that somebody was going to create a screenshot of the perp, because he did get on camera a couple of times when I was doing a live stream. He had walked around. He was a not particularly unattractive skateboarder guy that had either dreadlocks or braids. And he looked a lot younger than the typical scumbags, even though I guess there's no minimum and maximum age on whoremongers. But without a screenshot to show the cops, and the thing is that we have all these cameras up and down in Atlantic City, and I'm sure that just taking somebody's computer, that's their only way to get online, and smashing it, is not considered serious, like assault, even though that was an assault on me, and it certainly hurt me financially. But sometimes the things that are considered crimes, taken seriously, and what is not, it just makes you scratch your head. Like, I'll give an example. In Southern California, there is a serial cat killer and torturer in Southern California, and people have his name and have his address. And there's demonstrations outside his house. He should never have gotten bail. And anyway, he is an absolute scum of the earth. He's the kind of person that there should be a vigilante going to whip his ass, because if you're doing that to animals, not to mention, even if you weren't an animal lover, there is a well-documented connection between the people that harm animals and then they later go on to harm human beings. And, well, I think I care more about cats than I do about a lot of human beings, so I don't understand why somebody doesn't decide, you know what, I got nothing left to lose anyway. I'm going to take care of the problem. And I have to obviously be very careful about how I'm talking, because I don't want YouTube to take this live stream down because they have done things. Now, I'm familiar with Franz Kafka. He wrote a short story about a cockroach. And I'm not a huge fiction person, but I actually did read that, I believe. I read that. Oh, I wish you could feel this. It's just so nice and breezy. And there's Route 9. But yeah, that guy, ever since he did what he did on October 29th, I really haven't been, I hardly ever go to the boardwalk anymore. Well, my main reason for not going on the boardwalk is because when the cops kicked me off there with my guitar, they took my livelihood away from me. And my only choice was obey the law or get fines. And I say to myself, well, I don't want to spend that kind of money on a fine. I would rather just sit there for a couple days, 3 hots and a cot. Only problem with that is then you get a criminal record. And I don't even jaywalk if I can help it, because I don't want to get into the habit. Next thing you know, I'm in a place like Los Angeles where they always ticket people, and they don't care how well dressed you are, you're poor, you're rich, whatever. When I lived there full time, it was at least $100 plus whatever the court fees are. Now it's a lot more expensive than that. So I don't jaywalk. I don't want to get in the habit of doing things that out of reflex I'm doing, and then all of a sudden I have a problem. So, yeah. But this is a beautiful day. And now that I know how to live stream now, I'm hoping that this doesn't randomly shut off, because I prefer doing longer format videos. I really do. And the thing is, I had been doing some videos with this cell phone, and the thing would automatically shut off. The thing gets really hot and overheats and shuts off, and all of a sudden it does that hello moto thing. So that's why I want to take it in to be looked at. I got to find an authorized Motorola service center. And the thing is, this isn't even the phone that I originally shopped for. I got this from Best Buy. I told them that I needed a full terabyte of storage, and I wanted something that was expandable. It had a slot that I could put a chip in it, you know. And this thing only holds 512 gigabytes. It does not have a space to put the extra chip in it. And Best Buy does this thing now where they charge you a $49 restock fee, so you don't dare open something up unless you know you're not going to return it. And the same token, they charge you just to put a chip in it. And the thing is, if I had let them open it up to put the chip in it while I was still at the store, they would have found out that this is not the thing that I had ordered. So this is supposed to be at least a terabyte and a half. But with no expandability, this only holds 512 gigabytes, and it's over half used up already. This is not going to last me the summer. So I'm going to need more options for content creating. And again, and another thing that's used up more data on this is I decided to do an Instagram account. I've been wanting to be on Instagram for years. And I didn't want to post a bunch of faded hair pictures. I wanted to post some really, really great shots from club life. Just, real glamorous pictures. And so I had to download older pictures onto this phone in order to upload it to Instagram. And I was really enjoying Instagram at first. But once they found out that I was MAGA, then people started unsubscribing. And I went from like 1,017 subscribers on Instagram, and now I'm down to 912. It's like every day somebody is dropping away. And the thing is, I was doing daily uploads, okay? And so now I'm uploading less frequently because I'm thinking if they're deciding that my content's not their cup of tea. And I know that I shouldn't allow something like that, some external thing, to mess with it, but it affect your ego somewhat. And then you have these organizations that say, send me this picture. And you finally find out how to do it. Lester Johnson is saying, what do you think about the recent drama regarding Anissa and L Dubs? I don't know that I know who those people are. My main news source is actually Fox News Channel, and that's what I'm following. I'm also following. Did you guys hear about that fire at that cat sanctuary? There's a guy by the name of Chris Arsenault. There was a fire at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he went in repeatedly in that fire to get cats out, and finally he didn't come back. And he and over 100 cats perished. L-dubs, Kino, base leather. I don't know what that refers to. Now P-dubs, I know who that is. That is the dog. Oh no, I don't want to ever seem like I'm copying other people's content, so I do watch some creators, and I like to befriend fellow creators and stuff, but I really enjoy the political stuff. I love the stuff that Right Side Broadcasting does. People like Tony Valentine or Valentino. I love meeting my fellow YouTubers. And there is somebody that I watched some years ago, Eugenia Cooney, who's this really beautiful gothic girl, and she was very thin, and a lot of people were abusing her online, accusing her of having an eating disorder. And yeah. And I don't know if she's even still creating content anymore. But I try to, I watch a lot of Fox News, and one of the favorite kinds of content that I like to watch on YouTube are the subliminal video makers, subliminal makers and affirmation makers. And they have different things that you can do with them. You can help with prosperity consciousness, money attracting things, and just all kinds of things. I love the sleeping videos that they're at least 8 hours long, and they play sounds which actually can help with your sleeping because they blot out the sounds. Like if you live in a busy urban area and you hear a lot of noise of people yelling and screaming and whatever, those kind of videos blot out the sounds. Oh boy. You know what? I'm glad that they don't allow people putting pictures in chat comments. Is all I gotta say. But on the subject of unwanted pictures that women don't want to see, I thought I met a nice person on Instagram. We hit it off. They were cute. They were kind and considerate, and did a lot of talking late at night. And he had to ruin things. He sent me an unsolicited, full frontal nudity picture, and it wasn't him and what he had to show. It was just what he had to show, and I lost it. I'm sorry. It was a turn-off, and it ruined everything. I don't know why people have to do something to ruin everything. I don't know where people think that just because you may have a little bit of life experience and been around, it means that certain images don't bother you. You have no way of knowing what kind of trauma somebody maybe went through. And what guys don't understand is when they send unsolicited dick pics to chicks, you don't know whether a woman had some kind of trauma where seeing that would freak her out and give her a post-traumatic stress disorder, remind her about something she went through, you know? And I didn't get any kind of warning. And the thing is, because he had some artful pictures where his back was turned and all I saw was his bubble butt, even when you get warned that there might be nudity, I figured it was just a tushy picture. I didn't know I was going to get that, man. And I haven't spoken to him since. It just really, I know people throw around the word traumatized, but I was traumatized. And I just wish people would have better manners with regards to things like that. But getting back to the subject of Eugenia Cooney, I discovered her first probably like a lot of people did. She was a beautiful lady that had that gothic slash emo aesthetic. And I loved her hair and I loved her makeup and all that stuff. But I noticed that there were a lot of content creators that did videos about her and making assumptions that weren't kind and making casting aspersions on health and stuff, which I think is really rude to do. And you know, I'm thinking, how would you feel if somebody made a video about you and talked about you and you couldn't defend yourself? You know, that really, I thought was not kind. But yeah. So I noticed something, and because of that, when I do the metadata that we fill in when we post video content, and they have this thing where they ask you if you're willing to let people do remixes. And sometimes they don't give you an opt-out at all. The least you can let people get away with is audio-only remixes. Because there is a category of video making where you get a comedian, and he'll take excerpts of somebody's video, and they'll focus on certain things, and they'll basically make fun of them. Sometimes it's warranted, other times it isn't. And I know that I am in a kind of different situation right now because my building has been condemned. Yes, I know my house is a mess. It doesn't mean that I am forcing my mother to be in squalor. It means I'm one person and I have to prioritize what's important. And so I am very careful to limit any kind of remixes people can make, because I realize that people can do things at your expense that can make you look bad, and it's not like they're even saying this is the person's name and this is your channel and check it out. It's not positive promotion, and I think it's important to not leave yourself vulnerable to negative press. You want to get it done? Okay. Mom wants to get in. So
go that way.
No, I'm gonna. There's some place I'm gonna run. Oh, what? Where do you want me to take you?
Near.
Because that place is too negative. It's too.
Oh.
Where do you want to be?
I like that place. Well.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me get the thingy. Okay. I have a bag that has my umbrella.
Yesterday, saying they're going to start getting everything right. And I was such wrong in the menu. There's something else. Hopefully.
I want to keep my wife, okay? Because I can't be in this sun. Oh, but then of course it's going to be hard to push her. Okay. I don't know what the appeal is of this particular place.
I like the view. There's this one, you go right down over the curve there, so.
No, it's good enough.
Big girl. Yeah. Yes, good enough. Jeez. Hope that doesn't again. Straight over by that tree. Just see with the red, right there. Right by that tree. See? Right there. Okay, good. See, here's partial shade and there's sun coming.
Okay. Here. Now, this is, you set this up. Oh. Okay, the time isn't showing. Okay, the time isn't showing now. It says that we've been doing this 46 to 34 minutes. But the only way I can get the time on is to turn this off, and I'm not going to do that. So. Oh, you do want Yeah, well, I got you on that. Do you want to go in that other shaded area near the New Jersey sign? Okay. All right. Yeah, she and I are in agreement on we want to get away from. There's a flag in New Jersey over there. I'm going to take her to. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better than the first day I took her out here when there was a break on one of the. Oh, looks like that car is going to go. Let her go before I do this. While we're young. Spot the young people in this nursing home.
Go inside in that room with all those white chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
There's plenty of sunlight and light in here. You could get your reception in there.
Oh, you want to go in there?
Yeah,
Okay. We are going to. It's about time we get to exploring some of the things. There are so many things available to do as far as activities go in this place. It just, and it seems like it could actually be fun.
It's getting a little breezy.
Could you hold this without turning it off? There. Okay. You hold that.
Okay. Yeah, we can go inside and be comfortable. Because it's a little, it's not cold, it's just the wind's blowing, it's blowing junk all over everything. So.
You could tilt that up a little bit, Mom, so the sun doesn't damage.
I see.
You know, they say the direct sunlight and lenses are things.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Just like skin. I'm aware. Uh-huh. See, it's stuff's blowing all over it.
Your hand is covering. I want you guys to see something where I'm going to go with her. If you look at the windows back here, we are going to go in this room, and we've never been in this room before. So, okay. And this is a button that you press, and this will open things. It's under. It's behind you. Ooh. Okay. Oh, okay.
Get in.
Man, it is so nice out there.
It's gorgeous.
A little breezy. Where are you going?
This is where you said you
No, I said with the big white shirt. All right, whatever. Whatever. said white. This is not white.
Long disability symptoms can keep coming back.
This is the room that had big white chairs in it.
Oh, okay.
Down the hall.
This is a different room. Well, while we're in here, might as well take a look at it. This was the outside. This is where we were. And see, you can get junk food, snacks, and things, which I don't think the people here need to eat, especially if they're on low salt diets and stuff. But now we are going to go in another room here. Oh, I guess that place over there with the artwork. And if I'm taking you to the wrong place, then she will tell me, because I can't seem to get anything right today. But
The white chairs in the
oh, okay.
I thought it'd be quiet in there and look at the reception. It'd be comfortable.
Influence to inspire young players for years to come.
Oh, great. I hope that there is a way to turn that off. Because so you see, this is the first time that either of us have been in any of the other rooms in this place. But it's out of the sun, but now I want to see if I can do something about it.
But also those who walked in his footsteps.
I hope this isn't going to give me a copyright strike. I can't help this. Did you know that there was... Okay, now this is like a deck. This is nice and spread out. And there's, activity rooms. They have bingo. They have all kinds of Scuffed Frank. Hey. Some of the art. First day I came in here, I thought, you know what? This place is kind of cool. That said, some months back, I was thinking about the villages, and I thought they seemed like they'd be fun too. But you know what? You got to keep too neat a lawn. You can't grow your vegetables in front there, and you can only have your Christmas decorations up for a month. Oh, they would kick me out of there.
They have to watch the dog doesn't get eaten by crocodiles.
Oh yeah, and the crocodiles, the alligators, any man eaters. Yeah. Plus marijuana is not fully legal there yet, and I need to live a place where I don't have to worry about going to jail. My mother keeps on asking me what time it is. She doesn't seem to understand that when you're doing a live stream thing there, the time is nowhere on there. I don't see a clock. You're fixated on the time. Do you see a clock? I don't. Pull my hair out. I love my mom. I do. But if anybody tries to tell you that caregiving is not stressful, they're lying. And then when she practically yelled at me when I was doing a live stream, I told her she can't be doing that. Okay. I'm trying to tell. Now, can you guys tell time on things like this?
It is now 5:10.
5:10. Okay, thank you. Oh, I wanted to ask you something. My mom wanted me to take her in one of those rooms. I thought it was this. Turned out she wanted me to take her in that one there. I noticed there's a TV there. Does it have a remote? Because it's got some kind of sports thing on there, and I don't want to get a copyright strike or something. I don't like touching things I don't know how to deal with.
No. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Then when you're done, just bring it back.
You are so groovy. You're great.
I try my best, baby.
Well, you know what? They did right by getting somebody like you. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
That front desk security guy is so wonderful. You want to see what I have? I have the remote to the TV. 10 minutes after 5. And Look,
They said they gave her American coffee.
isn't that wonderful? Sal is good people. Sal is a guy, for his privacy, I didn't show him because I don't think they need to know that I'm live streaming. Hey, great. Where was I going here? He's the one that told me where the nearest bus stop is for here. Of course, I don't dare use it because I don't want to fork over an additional 30 cents. But when my mom and I were thirsty yesterday, and because it was, I guess, maybe close to a shift change or something, we both wanted ice water, he showed us where the kitchen is, which I didn't realize that the kitchen didn't say kitchen, it said dining area. Anyhow, he gave us each 2 big plastic cups, and they have an ice water dispenser that has ice and water mixed in with it. And I got that, for us yesterday. Oh, today? Oh, okay. The Kentucky Derby's on right now. I'm sorry I don't have my fascinator. But you know what? I do have some of those. Oh, Kentucky Derby. My father used to want to be a jockey when he was young. He loved horses. My father was not a tall man. He was, and jockeys are not tall men. And he took me to Atlantic City Racetrack when I was a little girl. And he took me to the paddocks. And he took me to see the horses. And the veterinarians were wrapping them in tape or bandages or whatever. And I didn't see any gambling. I didn't see any drinking. I just saw the horsies being taken care of by the doctors, and I guess I saw some jockeys. I was only like 4 or 5, 6, whatever I was. And Atlantic City Racetrack has been gone a long time. So, I have, talking about people who hate Trump. I lost another, I lost another friend. One of my Hollywood actor friends who's a gothic industrial DJ. And we're also Facebook friends. And, he never really seemed to pay attention to anything I posted. And it didn't really bother me any because I can't be worrying about who's paying attention to what, especially now when I'm dealing with my cat and my mom and the move and all that crap that's supposed to be going on. Well, he made a post about 2 weeks ago going on and on about people who voted for Trump and how he basically said, if you voted for Trump and you don't regret it, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I'll delete you and block you and blah, blah, blah and everything. And I thought it sounded like he was challenging people, right? And I read that and I'm thinking, first of all, I'm not just anybody. I was a colleague of his. We worked on many TV shows and major motion pictures together. Movies like Rockstar. Just a lot of productions. And I responded to him and I told him that I was not going to apologize for backing President Trump. I told him that I was not going to feel ashamed of any decisions I made because I make thoughtful, measured decisions on things. And if I love somebody and they are somebody that I am a fan of, then that's how I feel. And I said that I thought very highly of my friend and my first impressions of him and all the projects that we worked on and all this stuff. And so he got back to me, but when he gave me some kind of response, I was reading it from my home, right? And my mother had meanwhile called me, and whenever you're calling me on the phone, I'm going to give you my full attention. So what ended up happening was he only had the comment on for a few minutes, and then he deleted it. He deleted me and blocked me. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's just yet another friendship that is gone due to politics. And he's the one that started it. He's the one that made the confrontation and said that he didn't want anything to do with Trump supporters. And he seems perfectly willing to throw away a long time friendship just down the tubes, all because I wear the red hat. You know, I don't really care what other people think of me. If I worried about offending every single person because of my philosophy, my lifestyle, my interests, whatever, I would never get out of bed in the morning. You can't care what other people think. I mean, it's nice to have the respect and admiration of good people, obviously, but you can't. There's something very freeing when you decide, you know what, I'm going to live for myself. If people get it, great. If they don't, no skin off my nose. I didn't realize how much courage it took to forge your own path and to just do what you want to do and stuff. There was, if any of you guys are into Rush Limbaugh, a couple of months before he passed away, he was talking to people on his radio show, and he said that if he had a magic wand and magical powers, he would, and I'm only paraphrasing here, he said that he would make it so that his viewers didn't care what other people thought of him, so that we could just live our lives and not care about whether people like it or not. And pretty much for most of my life, that has been my attitude. From the time I was in kindergarten, you know, I was raised by a hardworking father and a former English teacher mother who basically stayed at home and raised me. And I was raised to treat people like adults, communicate with other adults, even though, of course, I was a kid. And so I got along fine with other adults, but I didn't really get along fine with my peers. But yeah, I actually wrote down what Rush Limbaugh said, and I had it taped on my wall and stuff. I really miss him terribly. So, horsies, running horsies. So, it's a shame because I quit alcohol over 20 years ago. I'm not going to get to go to Churchill Downs, sipping a mint julep, wearing my fascinator and a pretty dress. I'll just have to. I wonder if they have virgin mint juleps. You know, it's kind of sad whenever, at least I find it sad as somebody who got sober. I find it sad whenever alcohol is considered an iconic part of celebrations. You know. Oh, she says this is not actually the Derby, it's the horse. So the horse that she fancied won. It's a shame she didn't have some money down. What a pretty hat. Oh, great, I go show you her hat and you turn away from her. But I have two black fascinators that some nice lady gave me. It was after 9/11, but I don't know if she's even still alive because she was kind of old when she gave it to me. But I have them, so I'm thinking if I ever had a chance to go hang out with the British royal family and wear those fancy attire and everything, you know. It's one thing, you have a lot of clothes, you have things for every occasion. So, what a day. I can't believe we've had so many days of beautiful weather in a row. It's really something. I do hope that there's no inclement weather for my waiting for the bus, because there's no covered areas for waiting. You know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to carry change on me in case I don't want to walk all the way down to that other bus stop. You know, I could just go across the street, but I just don't want to spend money unnecessarily. You know, and I'm very disciplined when it comes to spending money and stuff and not spending money. I'm very good at being frugal.
American Promise.
Oh, American Promise is that the name of the horse that just won?
The horse I'm picking on the Derby.
Oh, that's what she's picking for the Derby. Oh, okay.
But that could be part of the reason he's a little bit higher in price than we expected.
I took to a very respected handicapper about 2 weeks ago.
It's about time Mom is finally getting used to some of the facilities here, you know. Okay. Well, now she thinks I should bring her back. They're doing dinner service now. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give that back.
I'm gonna give this remote back to Guy. And, you know, every day I come here, I get to know the area better and better. Mom says to tell you thank you. We're going back because they're serving dinner now, and I don't want, you know.
You got it.
Let me see. Okay. These. I'm finally following him on Facebook and on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
You know, why not, right?
Why not? Not hurt.
That's right. He's great. And plus, you know, when you're a caregiver, it's important to be on good terms with as many of the employees as possible. Okay, we are going to go back. I'm going to put the business card here. And I think I will be able to hopefully just do this. Right? More art. Oh, here's what I can do on the way here. Show you art.
I'm sorry.
That's one of the best things about going in hospitals or care facilities is the art. And they have, look, if I wanted to check out books, they have a library here. Yeah.
Everything's worked out the right one.
That's good.
No, I want to. I could truly love all that. It's so wonderful listening to them.
The nice administrators of this place told me about this.
Okay.
You press this. Right. Oh. All right. And nice art. Hi. Hey. It's so nice out there today. She's all the way down. See, it says star dining. I'm a star. I'm a YouTube star. I should dine there. More art. All right. See, you didn't know you'd be getting a tour, did you? Oh, hydrangeas. What, Mom? What? Back! And her dinner is here. Isn't this wonderful? Okay, now I'm gonna mount this. I'm going to put this. Mom, where are you going to be watching? Where are you going to be eating, watching your TV, and all that stuff?
Back in the end here between the doors.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Thanks.
Oh, it is so hot now. Gee, I didn't know that I was going to get to show you guys all that stuff.
I'm going to put on channel 6.
6?
8. Number
8 or 6?
channel 6 is on 8. Okay.
Okay.
Give me the remote.
Okay, it says 8.
What happened?
Okay. Well, I put 8 on it.
Well, give it to me, please.
Now, why don't I wheel you sideways so you can see your TV?
It's okay. The game isn't running yet.
Yeah, let me remind you, I'm live streaming. Watch how you talk to me on here because it makes me look like an idiot, like a chump. Please don't. I asked my mom to stop yelling at me when I'm live streaming because it makes me look like a chump. You know, I mean, how would you feel if you were doing a live stream? You know, I told her, I said, she does that to me. What if I went home and just stopped coming here? You don't do that to somebody. You know, I am a YouTube professional here. I have, in addition to the 12 and a half years at least I've been on here, I had a showbiz career in Hollywood, major motion pictures, TV shows and stuff. Don't do things. Don't try to me like that. You know. Jeez, oh man.
You need to make the tray thing of this. Stick it out everywhere.
Good girl, please don't talk to me like that. One of my boyfriends used to say that.
Could you just move the tray over here? Okay, so just put it in front of me so
Okay, hold on a second. I'm trying to...
there you go, right in front. There you go.
What can I do for you? This? Oh, okay, well, I'll set them up. Okay. Whew. Oh.
You can't take this.
Yes.
Take this away.
Okay. How you talk to me online.
Oh, for God's
No.
sake.
I want you to see
Can I eat?
her dinner. Oh. I'm trying to think. You know, these damn balloons are getting...
Go on the other side of it. Just go.
Oh, excuse me. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to try to balance this properly.
Coming to Miller Theater, May 7th through 11th. Buy tickets now at shenyun.com.
You're with me, you'll be helping.
Right. And carpet tile. It's soft and durable, easy to clean. It's $400 off at any store for cleaning. Visit Carpet Tile Mart sources or carpetmart.com today.
Please put me out of my misery.
When you see this symbol, you know you're watching television, educational, and
Got my coffee. That's
every day.
I'm sure.
Today on Ocean Mysteries, run an adventure in Pacific paradise on the island of Tahiti. These crystal waters are full of surprises. Sea turtles, stingrays, so
Okay, apparently these windows can be opened. And that's it. You see Mom's fan from Cooper.
Before you know it, you'll be out there swimming in the wilds once again. Great teaser of the adventure to come, because now we're leaving the comforts of Georgia we're in. We're heading up to
Oh, yeah.
Polynesia. It's going to be remarkable. One adventure you don't want to miss. Alright guys, welcome to French Polynesia. From the small island of Morea, about 9 miles from Tahiti. This island is home to spectacular landscapes, towering peaks that are all that remains of extinct volcanoes.
Don't you see what I have?
Explore the amazing
Condiments.
Let's do this. Tahiti is one of the most
I have soy sauce.
The ocean here is remarkably clear.
This is supposed to be still.
Crystal.
Oh,
Rich and fertile is famous for its corals, fish, and sea turtles.
Oriental blend vegetables.
Oriental blend vegetables. I have soy sauce.
So could you do something with it?
As we arrive to the dive site,
Can you turn that down, please? Right now.
Sure, why not?
size sharks, at least the ones we can see, our experience in this incredible paradise
Yeah, on the,
without
Kentucky Derby, you don't want to get it.
No, I'm saying this is a commercial.
Please, just do it. Whatever you're doing. I'll pull some shit on your face and
Infantilizing me on YouTube is not helpful.
be quiet.
You won't. Where do you want this on? Everything?
I don't know.
Just pepper. Want you guys to see how good this looks. Oops. Okay. Go for it.
Too loud for you.
Anyhow, this is not Kentucky Derby. This is some underwater
Because
bullshit.
you kept fussing, so I just quit doing well.
Oh boy. Now, am I still broadcasting? I don't see any more comments, and sometimes I think I'm broadcasting and it's not. Meanwhile, I'm talking to my audience. So I'm assuming I'm still broadcasting here. Say something to let me know that I am, because if I'm just talking to the wall, then I will stop this and I will start again. Well, alright, I will stop this and start later because she's eating, and you know, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Coming up in my mouth.